We continue to follow breaking news of the guilty verdict of Derek Chauvin. We have with us today, very lucky to have them here, three triad experts leading in the field of civil rights and law. And before the break, Steve, you were going to add to the conversation. What were you going to say?
Yes, that the high publicity in this case may have an impact not only on this case, but more likely on the three officers who are remaining to be tried. It may affect the jury selection process and also how the officers approach what they're going to do in their cases. So this, of course, has had such widespread publicity that will affect trying to get a neutral and objective juror.
A lot of people on social media have been wondering if this verdict is kind of the floodgate for a change and if we should expect more guilty verdicts in the future. Cammie, you're shaking your head no?
No. I mean, well, I hope that we can always when the prosecution meets their burden, as they did in this case, that we will have a guilty verdict. But the problem here with this case, and it is a significant day, but this case, the facts were so egregious that if we did not see a conviction, we would have to wonder. You'd have to just suspend common sense to believe that that he did not, that his actions didn't unintentionally kill George Floyd. But there's still all of these cases, in rapidly unfolding situations, officers shooting suspects, and in those cases, we still tend to see the officer can just say, oh, I feared for my life, I was by myself, I thought they had a weapon, and you may not see the same conviction rate. So it is a significant day, but we have systemic issues in policing, and this is justice for George Floyd and his family. This is justice for one man.
Steve, Derek Chauvin invoked his Fifth Amendment rights like he has the right to do, decided not to testify. Do you think that made a difference at all?
I don't think so. It is more the rule than the exception that, defendants get on the stand and don't invoke the Fifth Amendment. The burden is with the prosecutor, and if he had gotten on the stand, I think he would have been subjected to even more difficult issues in prosecution. If I was a prosecutor, I would have gone after this notion that he made a split-second decision. He had his hands in his pocket, pretty casual. And as my wife pointed out, his eyeglasses pushed up on his head, pretty casual. Among other things that he would have been asked. So it was a wise decision, but there was still so much evidence stacked up against him, particularly when you have the chief of police and other police officers and experts saying that what he did was inconsistent with good police practices.
As we continue to watch crowds gather live across the country, clearly this verdict is a big deal. I want to ask all of you, what do you take away from today?
Well, I think one word I hope will stand out in the future, and that's de-escalation. How can the escalation of force change to de-escalation, particularly when it comes to minor incidents, particularly when it comes to traffic stops and things of that ilk?
I take away from it the fact that the blue wall of silence, as it's been called, is not impenetrable. And there are some circumstances in which police can be prosecuted for engaging in conduct that goes beyond the pale when it comes to violence and mistreatment of individuals. And so I think that's what I take from this. I don't think that, and what I hope is that it changes police practices. That's what I hope.
And only time will see on that. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I always love to hear what you have to say.